Yo, yo, yo. Welcome into the Think Tank. I am Lady Wu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give you time to come in if you're watching on social media. We are posting up. I see you saying no sound. Y'all don't start that with me. Don't do that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Ella, Steven. What's up, Talisha? Hey, hey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Who else is checking in? Got another Steve. What up, Thomas? Hey to all of you. So it is the Think Tank. I am Lady Wu. You hear me throughout the day. You've been listening to me all day. I've been in here and I am still here. Thank you, Ella. She says, I can still hear you. I can hear you. Great, 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 great. Rosalind, hello, 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 hello to each of you. Hey, said, hey, hey. So I'm getting communications via text on social media. You all know the phone lines are open as well, 994-8949. Hey, Maria. Hey, Daryl. Hello, LaShonda. Hey. Hey there. So welcome in. All right. So we have a lot to talk about. A whole lot to talk about. I know you all are used to hearing me talk on Sunday nights for Vital, but we're going to do this with the Think Tank today. All right. So first and foremost, we could talk about monkeypox. I know you all want to talk about that. I know that you also want to talk about back to school and how that's affecting everybody and parents and what's happening with you, your pockets, your energy, your time, because back to school is a whole situation for the whole family. You want to talk about climate, the climate crisis, and how the heat wave is affecting other areas, the fires. There's so much to talk about. But one thing that broke today, officers have been charged in the murder of Breonna Taylor. That happened today. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Brittany Griner. Today, she was sentenced to 9 years in the Russian prison that she's been placed in. We got to talk about that. Also, right here in our area in Alabama, we are talking about the 12-year-old young lady. Little girl was found walking after being kidnapped and assaulted. We're going to talk about that situation and what you should do in situations like that. And then, if time permits, we will talk about Papa Joe and if he's ready to go. Our president, Joe Biden, is he ready to go? Should he run again? What's going to happen? I like what Richard is saying. He's calling it the Vital Think Tank. That's exactly what it is. So today you get to really express yourselves, get in and share on these topics. Get it off your chest. Don't just save it for the water cooler and for social media. We want to hear what you got to say. We want to talk about it with you. So be sure to hit us up 994-8949. And you can also share your comments on social media. Already something coming in. The best news of the day, Breonna Taylor is starting to receive justice. And I think that's the direction that I'm going to go in to kick us off today. When you talk about your constitutional rights and knowing your rights, knowing what's going on, knowing what's happening and how you can be affected by laws, you got to know. You got to know what is in front of you, what you could be facing, what to do, what rights are being revoked or infringed upon. And that's basically what happened in this case. So remember, March 20th, 2020, in Louisville, Kentucky, 26-year-old Breonna Taylor was murdered by police officers who did not have, I would say, a real or a truthful reason to enter her home the way that they did. The officers had time to create a fake or fake documentation and a fake story as to why they entered her home. Attorney General Merrick Garland said that, hey, right now, we are looking at justice. Four current and former Louisville police officers involved in the deadly raid on Breonna's home, including detectives who worked on the search warrant and the ex-officer accused of firing blindly into her home, have been charged with civil rights violations. So once again, I ask, do you know your rights? How important it is for you to know your rights? And other counts. The charges mark the first federal counts leveled against any of the officers involved in the botched raid. In addition to civil rights offenses, federal authorities charged the four with unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction. Taylor's mom, Tamika Palmer, said that she has waited 874 days for federal charges to be filed and has beaten everything sent to break her. Her daughter's death has taken her to a place that we can't even imagine, she said. Every day has been March 13th for me. And that's the day that Breonna was killed in 2020. But today, I can breathe a little easier. Wow. That's where we go first, y'all. Breonna Taylor's killers, the murderers, those who decided to take matters into their own hands to enter into her apartment with excessive, unnecessary force, they are going to face their day. So with this, I want to talk about constitutional rights first. As we go back to school, our students are going back. They are being taught. They're in civics classes. They're in government. They're in history classes. And I remember being in school and not really being able to comprehend what I was learning at the time. I didn't know how important it would be. We didn't understand it. We didn't understand how important knowing the Constitution or learning the preamble or paying attention to the amendments. We didn't really know we didn't know the value of it. But then you hear cases and situations like this where you truly learn the value of knowing your constitutional rights. So, the first question that I shall pose, if we all live under the Constitution, okay, and we all have these rights, if that's what we all lived under and are judged by, how much do you know? How much do you know? So that's what I want to know from you all. How important was it for you to learn about your rights, civil rights, and how they could be violated and disregarded? And basically, people given time to make up a story about how they took it from you. These officers had time to go and conjure up a story. They met in I want to say in a garage to come up with the story as to how they would say that this was justified, that we came up with this warrant to search. And we have a story as to why we did it. But then we find out that ain't even true. They had time. They knew what to say and what to write and what to do. Do you know your rights? Do you know your rights? That's the first question. 994-8949 is the number. 994-8949 is the number. And how important it is for our children to know their rights. When you're in your home, that's where you should be safe. That's where when someone comes and knocks on your door and asks a question, you have the right to answer, to open. They shouldn't just start firing in your home. So I really want us to think about that and think about how much you know. Share your opinions, your thoughts, and your feelings. 994-8949. Social media says, Talisha, hey Talisha, how ironic that this comes after a very devastating flood in that state. God is still in control. Thank you for that comment, Talisha. Any other comments that you want to share, feel free to put them on the stream if you're watching. Ella says, yes, so happy to see that about Breonna. Cedric Hatchett says, Jesus is for justice. So you can look at this situation in many ways, and there's so many vital points for you to pull out. But the one that caught me first, and as I was reading, just because it referred to constitutional rights so many times, and I was thinking, do I know my Fourth Amendment rights? Do I know? We know the First Amendment because that's a popular one. The freedom, you have these different freedoms. You have the freedom to speak. You have the freedom to bear arms. So we know First and Second, but do you know your Fourth Amendment right? Do you know the Fifth Amendment? Do you know the other? Do you know what rights you are being judged upon and expected to live by? Do you remember those lessons? Or do you just kind of go off your gut feeling, this doesn't feel right? I think they're treating me badly. This is not right. Or do you know? How important is it to know what you are being protected by, how you are expected to govern yourself? If somebody tells you to govern yourself accordingly, what does that look like? Where are the ground rules, and do you know them? Do you know them? And I think that piece of conversation is going to take us throughout the rest of these topics. Brittany Griner. Hey, Chris. Hello, hello. Bennett, hello. Eddie Bradford, hello to you as well, and all the rest of you that are watching and tuned in. Talking about constitutional rights and do you know yours? Going back to the Breonna Taylor case in particular, the warrant that was issued was not truthful. They came up with this warrant and it lacked probable cause for the search. All right. So, like, if you're going to search me, you have to have probable cause. Why are you searching? Why are you knocking? Why are you here? What is it? Let me know. Tell me why you're coming in. Okay. That ain't what it had. They went somewhere and made that up. The affidavit falsely claimed that officers had verified that the target of their drug trafficking investigation had received packages at Breonna Taylor's address. But the officers knew that that was not true. Wow. They knew that it wasn't true, but they wrote it and they tried to stick by it. They tried to cover themselves to get away with murder. I hope you all are hearing what I'm saying. And today, justice has started to be served. It will not bring Breonna Taylor back, but they will have to pay for what they did. The other part of this is knowing your rights. A conviction on the charge of willfully violating someone's rights carries a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison when the violation leads to death. That's what happened here. Life, right? Life can be faced because of this, according to the DOJ. A conviction on an obstruction count commands a maximum penalty of 20 years. And the conspiracy and false statement charges each carry maximum sentences of 5 years. So that's what these guys are facing for what they did to Breonna Taylor. And honestly, to all of those that have been impacted. She lived in an apartment building. So bullets may have gone directly into her apartment, but they also impacted and affected other people, all of her neighbors. They heard the commotion. They saw this affected everybody around. Justice is now being served. Justice is now being served. Since the founding of our nation, the Bill of Rights to the United States Constitution has guaranteed that all people have a right to be secure in their homes, free from false warrants, unreasonable searches, and the use of unjustifiable and excessive force by the police. These indictments reflect the Justice Department's commitment to preserving the integrity of the criminal justice system and to protecting the constitutional rights of every American. That is another quote from Kristen Clark, the Assistant Attorney General up there. So, yeah, this is what's happening today. And I want to know how you feel about it. First question, do you know your rights? Second, is this enough? Is this enough? Somebody got off earlier. We thought that, oh man, we're gonna lose it. This is gonna be another situation where they get off. That's not what's happening these days. People are being held accountable for their ridiculousness and for their actions. We're gonna go to the phone lines. Got somebody calling in, wants to share. Caller, you're in the think tank. I'm Lady Wu. What it do?
Good evening, Lady Wu. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. What you got for me?
It's a lot of people in Alabama. They don't really know their rights, and even the police they abuse their rights. And in black neighborhoods, they have what you call driver license and insurance check.
Right, the checkpoints.
What if you ain't done nothing wrong? You can't even ask for nobody a license for nothing.
Okay. I can't.
So,
but if I'm abusing my power, I can, right?
But that's what they do, and that is a violation of our rights.
Right. Right.
So the mayor, I hope the mayor is listening. Because they only do it in black neighborhoods. They don't do it in no white neighborhood. Yeah. So why do we have to be? Even though I haven't been stopped,
right?
I know they set up in areas in the black neighborhood, and they asked me even one time for mine, and I said, "Well, what did I do? Did I commit a crime or what?" And they said, "No, we just checking." I said, "Well, you can't get my license,
okay,
because of something that you just checking somebody's license and registration and insurance." I said that's not even right. So they end up letting me go, and I didn't have a problem with them. But so many other people that they catch on that, and they voluntarily give their stuff over.
Right.
They think they have to do that.
Yeah, we think we have to comply, and then it's almost like it's understood that it's safer to comply and just deal with it on another end. I want to get away from this traffic stop or from this checkpoint, so let me just comply, and then I'll deal with whatever the consequences are or whatever my concerns
Well,
are in a different
I
space.
understand that. Yeah, I do. But the main thing is the mayor shouldn't have this set up in black neighborhoods,
Okay.
because if it's wrong, it's wrong.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for listening. Thank you for calling in. It's our first caller of the afternoon. And I wonder, is that truly a mayoral thing? Is that a city thing, or is that a police department thing? Who makes a decision on who's attacked? Is it a personal thing? I mean, like in this particular case with Breonna Taylor, that was detectives that had done an investigation that had gotten some information that they knew was old. This was old information, but we're still going to use it, and we're still going to go into this neighborhood and make our own decision to act, to act the way they did. They did that without the mayor being involved. The attorney general definitely wasn't involved. Government wasn't involved, but they championed some other people who felt like they did, and we're gonna go make this bust. And it's almost like by any means necessary. That's kind of what it came off as. And now they're paying for it. That's what I'm saying. That's what's happening. 9948949. Got some comments I'll share with you guys that are listening and not viewing, because our viewers are also sharing on social media. One says, as blacks, we need to know our rights when being stopped by the popo. Thank you for that. I don't think we as a people know our rights. And this is why some people feel like they can tell us anything. Agreed. Stephen says it's a shame that the federal government has to do what the Kentucky Attorney General refused to do. And another comment, if it was a violation, then why don't someone challenge the roadblocks? And I know we've been having this conversation forever about checkpoints and roadblocks and what they signify, where they are, where they're placed, what the consequences are. You're looking for black people that may not have insurance on their vehicles, bad tags, expired, or what's the other word? I can't even think of the other license word. But when your license ain't right, you're out here driving, and they're looking for that, and it further railroads you, it further puts you in the system. But they are looking for it, and most of us seem to think that it's only in our neighborhoods. And I guess the next question that we've gotten from our listener is, whose responsibility is it to stand up and say something about that? Is it the mayor? Is it the police chief? Or is it the power to the people to say, hey, we're not going to be harassed, we're not going to stop for those anymore, we're going to be able to voice our feelings and our thoughts, like our caller said, and say, well, hey, I'm not giving you my license. Somebody's like, I didn't know you could say that. Yeah, you can say it, but you got to know what to say next. You got to know what's coming after that. All right, so more comments from social media. Phone lines are open as well, 994-8949. Right now we're discussing the charges that have been brought about, and the excitement, the relief that some of us are feeling, the justice that we feel has been served in the case of Breonna Taylor. March 20th, 2020, she was killed. March 13th, she was killed. And today, the Attorney General said, "Yeah, y'all gonna pay for that. You gonna have to pay for that." Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in the think tank. What you got?
Well, I wanted to respond to the police being in the neighborhood.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sound like an echo. Wait a minute.
You turn your radio down and listen through your phone.
Okay, I
Sound
put
better?
you on speaker.
All right.
I was I wanted to say that a lot of people don't have insurance nor license
Right.
in the black neighborhood. So I feel like when they do check license and insurance, they think it's malicious,
Mm-hmm.
and the police are after them. So you still got to follow the law and getting your license and your insurance.
Right.
It shouldn't be all about color,
Okay. So it's not
but
it's not a black
about
and white issue. It's not a poverty issue. It's about following the rules.
yes,
Okay.
because if they think the police is doing wrong, A lot of them don't have insurance nor license,
Okay.
and I'm talking about the younger generation, and there's a few other so older.
I got you.
That, that's my thought. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, everybody's entitled to their opinion on that. If it is for, I've heard that, okay, we're looking for somebody and that somebody is reported to be in this area. So that's why we're doing it. Um, Stanley says, if the police stop you, why not comply if you have your stuff together? So that's the flip side to what she just said. I don't like that because I don't have my stuff together. What if I can't afford to have my stuff together? What if I'm in this situation in this moment, but I have my stuff together and it's at home? They still gonna take me in because hey, they don't believe me. So there are different situations that you can be placed in, but I think the best situation to be in is prepared, right? Have your business in order and keep it where it's supposed to be. It's in your glove compartment, it's in your wallet, whatever that looks like for you. But being prepared and having your business in order is important. However, that does not that never justifies being mistreated or being shown bias or prejudice by those that are in law enforcement. So, other comments. I see some good ones coming up. Citizens call it roadblocks, but law enforcement calls them checkpoints, and they are 100% legal. All right. Now, coming to my house and using excessive force and automatically shooting in my door and shooting through a window, that wouldn't be legal. That's why they're facing the time that they're facing. But a checkpoint, these are two different conversations. A checkpoint is legal. Tiffany Brown, show the law where it says that it's illegal. I bet that you can't. All right, so we got some commenters going back and forth, proving points and things like that in the comments, and I'm here for it. Ella, are the police using those issues of no insurance and licenses being revoked as an excuse to find other things? Hmm, okay. Good question. I can't answer that because I'm not out here doing that work or doing that job. But are they looking for other things? May drugs be an issue? May fugitives be an issue? Remember, fugitive was just caught in Alabama from another state, had been here in Shelby County, I think it was, just out here chilling. So you're looking for, we don't know what they're looking for. Neither do I want to impede on the work, but I also don't want to be targeted. I don't want to be, um, you know, just put in bad situations just because of the color of my skin or my level of living, my financial status. I don't want that for me or for my people. Let's go to some more comments. Talisha says checkpoints are necessary. It provides opportunity to get illegal guns off the street. Subjects being sought, it's your own fault if you driving dirty. Thank you, Talisha. And Jermaine, hello, hello. People have complied and still got shot or beaten. So, now there we go. That's the point that's being made. You can comply. You can decide to argue. You can, put your hands up in the air, take them off the steering wheel. And we've seen that with Philando Castile. Same thing happened with him. Hey, I have a gun over here. I'm not reaching for it. I'm just letting you know that I have it. He was shot and killed. So I totally agree with that point, Jermaine. Yeah. This is one of those conversations that is difficult to argue a point. The only point that I can argue is that nobody deserves to be killed or shown prejudice because of the color of their skin in a situation that has nothing to do with anything, right? Like nothing. I don't have anything to do with this situation. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm black and you feel threatened. Nobody should have to deal with that. And this conversation, for those of you that may just be popping in and looking around or taking a listen, this conversation is coming on the heels of the news that Breonna Taylor's murderers have been charged. These men are facing life, 20 years, 5 years for other charges. They could be in there forever. And they should have thought about that when they was out here lying, trying to come up with paperwork to cover their tracks. Stanley Tarver says, well, if you don't have license or insurance, that gives the police the right to search your car. Dang. Keep your license and insurance in your car. I think the minimal insurance that you have to have is liability. You don't even have to have full coverage. And I've seen some insurance companies saying, "Hey, we'll give you that for the low. Get your business in order." Hello, Miss Tamika. Welcome in. For those of you that are tuned in, I am Lady Wu. I'm here every day, every single day. Not in this hour. I've done this before, but I'm here today filling in for Chris Coleman, who is on assignment. So I'm here today. Homie was here yesterday. Heard you guys had a good time in the tank yesterday. So we're here being vital today. One more comment on this particular topic for right now. Tiffany says, Stanley, I'm just going by what the caller said. The caller said we can refuse to provide license because it's not legal. So I said we as people didn't know that. We could say no if we haven't done anything wrong. I said that was the last one. This will be the last one. When you put your signature on your license, you have agreed to comply with a lot of things. Having your licenses are a privilege, not a right. Now that's okay. All right. So I don't know, Mr. Wilson, if this is law enforcement speaking. I don't know how you know what you know, but it sounds about right. But one thing we do have to do is research. We have to be clear on things. If I say you're violating my rights, I want to be able to tell you which right you're violating. This just don't feel right. Nah, this is not right, and I know why. I have proof of why. I remember the amendments, and I remember. So we got to spruce up on that and stay on top of it. You are violating my Third Amendment right, my Fourth Amendment right, my Second Amendment right. You got to know your rights in order to be able to argue these points and to be protected as well. Uh, Roadblocks. I'm gonna keep sharing because y'all keep sharing. As long as you share with me, I'll share with you. Roadblocks, checkpoints are being used to get guns, drugs, and fugitives off the streets. That's the part of the police presence we asked for. Now I like that. I do like that. I had shared that first line before, like the different things that can be found at a checkpoint. If you don't have it, why are you bothered by it? It may take a few minutes. The police may not be the nicest in that moment, but hey, I got my business in order, and y'all just got 50 guns that were illegally going through my neighborhood. Thank you. So if we change our perspective and how we look at things, we live in a system. We live in multiple systems. We function within other spaces with other people who have other things going on. So if what we're affected by bothers us to the point that we don't want the police to do their job when we say we want them to, now is a big conflict of interest. So, Stephen, thank you for that. Roadblocks, checkpoints are being used to get guns, drugs, and fugitives off the streets. That's part of the police presence that we ask for. All right. Okay. Thank you, Stanley. He said he's a policeman. I appreciate that. Hey, Ray. Hey. Ray says you will never win on the side of the road. And that goes back to what I said about, knowing your rights and then being able to say, hey, so on August 2nd, my rights were violated. I started my camera. I recorded it. Here's the proof. And I want to take this to the court of law. That's how you do that. That is how you do that. One more comment. Just say I don't answer. Just say I don't answer no questions, but give them your license. That's what Fred Berry said. So Fred, thank you for that. Say I'll comply right here, but you're gonna hear from me later. Right? When you get this license, you can go pull whatever you need. But as soon as I get to a situation where I feel safe and I know I'm protected, we're going to deal with this. So that's the idea. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. That's just the first half of the Think Tank. We have so many stories to cover. If you have other comments, other thoughts and feelings, I'm going to keep the stream going. You can comment there, or you can call in 994-8949, and we'll pick up on this when we come back. We have other things to talk about. Brittany Griner is on the way. We're going to talk about that. Is Papa Joe ready to go? Joe Biden, you running again? You staying? How we feel about that? We're going to talk about that as well. And the 12-year-old girl found walking in the road in our state and what that led to. Right here on B94.9 WATV. We'll be right back.
It's time now for traffic from our B94.9 Traffic Center, presented by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department.
Hey, Atlantic City is a busy riding around the Metro 205. The traffic report sponsored by Lake Season.
The Splash Back to School Water Adventure, Saturday, August 6th from 11 till 3 p.m. at Legion Field. We're turning the football field into a giant splash pad. I Am Birmingham will host a slip and slide kickball, so don't forget to dress to get wet. Get here early, get your back to school supply. The Magic City Market will be on site. Check out the Bowling Green Dog Show with games and prizes. Oh, and don't forget to bring your super soaker for an all-out battle. Fun for the entire family goes down Saturday, August 6th at Legion Field from 11 to 3 p.m. For the Splash Back to School Water Edition, brought to you exclusively by the Birmingham Parks and Rec and the all-new V94.9 WATV.
Have you tried transit powered by compressed natural gas? At Max, we know gas prices are steadily increasing and automobile costs are on the rise. So there's no better time for you to try transit. Max provides quality services to Birmingham, Bessemer, Centerpoint, Homewood, Hoover, Mountain Brook, Vestavia Hills, Tarrant, Midfield, and the city of Fairfield. Riding is easy and affordable. Get a one-way pass for just $1.50 or an all-day pass for just $3. Plus, Max has reduced rates for veterans and seniors. To plan your trip, visit Central Station, go to maxtransit.org, or download our MyStop app today. We look forward to servicing you at Max, where transit is on the grow.
Hey, have you heard of Money Smart Mondays? It's a new program at the Birmingham Business Resource Center for anyone looking to become smarter with their money. Whether you need to improve your credit, buy a home, or get your business financials in order, Money Smart Mondays can give you the tools and information you need to reach your financial goals. Visit mybbRc.biz/events to learn more about this new Lunch and Learn series. These events are free and open to anyone.
With our newest unlimited plan, everyone's welcome. Introducing Welcome Unlimited from Verizon for just $30 a line per month for 4 lines with autopay plus taxes and fees. Our best priced unlimited plan ever.
Did he say $30?
Yep, $30 a line for the whole family. The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G nationwide 4G LTE. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. All smartphone lines on the account must be on Welcome Unlimited and are eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text, and data usage only. Data roaming at 2G speeds.
Right now, we're all affected and faced with making tough decisions. Making funeral arrangements shouldn't be one of them. Kirksey's Mortuary is here to help. Kirksey's Mortuary now offers prices starting as low as $3,595, and they still offer pre-arrangements. Call Kirksey's Mortuary at 205-780-1919 or come visit us at 3500 Avenue I, right off of I-59 in Inslee. Kirksey's Mortuary, 205-780-1919, where quality and compassion come together.
Hot or cold?
I'm meteorologist Jerry Tracy with your V94.9 WATV forecast. A passing shower in a few spots this evening. Otherwise, typically warm and muggy tonight. Partly cloudy skies, low about 73. For tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, seasonably hot and humid, the high 92, and there is a chance of a thunderstorm during the afternoon. For tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, seasonably hot and humid, the high 92, and there is a chance of a thunderstorm during the afternoon. With your V94.9 forecast, I'm Jerry Tracy with WBTM 13.
Keith Coleman would love to hear from you. Just call 205-994-8949. The Think Tank continues right now on the all-new V94.9 WATV. And the V stands for variety.
It's the Think Tank. I am not Chris Coleman. I am Lady Wu. Welcome back in. Welcome back in. Welcome back in. Thanks for not going too far. So before the break in the first half of the Think Tank, we opened up celebrating that some justice has been served for Breonna Taylor. So the world rejoices because law enforcement has been held accountable. And when I say law enforcement has been held accountable, I mean those individuals who serve as law enforcement or who served as law enforcement agents, they have been apprehended and they are going to pay the time for the crimes that they committed. Yes, they did commit crimes, and they committed several of them. Some that deemed the punishment of life. Yeah, that's big right there. So let me tell you what it is. A conviction on the charge of willfully Violating someone's rights carries a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison when the violation leads to death. And that's exactly what happened. A conviction on an obstruction count commands a maximum penalty of 20 years. And the conspiracy and false statement charges each carry maximum sentences of 5 years. So I can hear it going something like life plus 20 plus 5 plus 5, or however the charges add up. Hey, Breonna was killed at the age of 26. 26 in one of the saddest summers that we faced. So 2020 was a sad summer, and Breonna Taylor was one of those who added to the names that we learned, and we learned them in a way that we shouldn't have had to. We learned them because her life was taken. And in these type situations, you know, like, we are everyday citizens who don't have the insight or the privilege or the perspective to be able to be in the courtrooms when these things happen, right? Like, I just see something coming in now about a jury, or, you know, just about all of the details coming out. I don't know if that'll be in history lessons later and docuseries later, but we don't get to hear all of it. We don't get to thoroughly go through these officers' track records and see what they've done before, what their ideas are, what made them feel like this was the best way to go about this. Like, what? Somebody said that one of them said her boyfriend shot at them first, and that is why they responded the way that they did. It's all crazy. But on today, came back down to, hey, constitutional rights were violated and you're going to pay for it. The main question that I asked when we opened up today is, do you know your rights? Do you know your rights? Can you stand and say, hey, my Third Amendment right was violated? Do you know how many constitutional rights you have? I'm sure it's tons of them, but which ones do you know? Do you know when they are to be applied? Do you know when they are being tested, when they're being taken, when they're being, questioned? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know your rights? 9948949. I'm flipping through, just looking at some pictures of Breonna Taylor and thinking about even what her mom said about how every day she has lived that day. She lived the day that she got the news that her daughter was murdered in her apartment. Like, what? What? How? Why? Who? And just thinking about all of the emotional turmoil that her family and friends and neighbors have had to go through with this situation. Not saying that that's going to end. It's not going to end, but some justice is being served. So as I flip through and look at that, I just, that touches me in that way, in a more emotional way, just thinking about how this young lady was robbed of life. And then how these officers, so despicable, went and tried to make up a story as to why, as to how it happened. And then furthermore, the union up there, the police union in Louisville, at the time said that the firings were unjustified. There is certainly no evidence in this case that policies and procedures of the LMPD were violated to the extent that warranted termination, the River City Fraternal Order Police said in a statement. Interim Chief Yvette Gentry not only made the wrong decision, but also sent a horrible message to every sworn officer of the Louisville Metro Police Department. I agree. But hey, now it has happened. Now it has happened, and it is happening. So next story, when you talk about knowing your rights, right? Like, you got to know your rights. But not only that, you got to know where you are and what's legal and what's not. You need to know the law of the land when you're in another place, or you could be caught up like Brittany Griner. I really feel sorry for Brittany. I don't know what she was thinking or not, but let's go all the way back to February when she was arrested. Brittany said that she packed in a hurry. I was packing in a hurry. Those canisters, they are mine. And that cannabis oil over there, that's mine too. I realized it was in my luggage. Yeah, I didn't realize it. And she's in Russia. So, I don't know. I can't call nobody and tell them to come get it. I'm about to be in trouble. I'm quite sure that's the first thing that came to mind. Like, this is about to be bad. But that's what Brittany said. Like, I was packing in a hurry. And the canisters of vape cannabis oil were left in her luggage. And because of that, now she is considered a political pawn. And I wouldn't want my political pawnism to be based in me packing in a hurry and having some cannabis oil in my bag, you know, but that's what happened. And she's being sentenced to 9.5 years in a Russian prison on these charges of drug possession and smuggling. Now, a lot of people feel a way about this. Some people say, you know, it's absolutely insane that she's serving or being faced with 9.5 years. They could have come up with something different. She need to serve at home, you know, maybe get an ankle monitor, pay some fines, but serving 9 years in Russia for some canisters of oil, that ain't right. They shouldn't do it like that. Your boy Donald Trump says it's not a fair trade because, you know, they're talking about exchanging Brittany for another prisoner, basically. And Donald Trump says it's not a fair trade. A spoiled person loaded up with drugs for a killer. It's not fair. That's what he said on the Clay Travis and Book Sexton show. And, you know, he's a spoiled person, right, that has money. He went into all of that. You know, she's got money. She could pay the fines. Now, what I'm concerned about is her safety in the Russian prison. She said that she was being treated fine. I guess you would say that publicly, but we don't know what the conditions are really like. She really understands what's happening. We don't know that, but she's facing 9.5 years. First question on this story: do you feel that that is a sensible, reasonable sentence? 9 years for vape canisters of cannabis oil. I'm like, dang, she have done better with some bud, with some weed, with some trees, with a plant, right? Like, what would she have done better doing? Is that a fair sentence? Is it a fair sentence? That's the first question for Brittany. Ella says, praying mightily for Brittany's entire well-being. Yeah, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, a holistic prayer for Brittany Griner as she's over there. And we don't really know. We don't know. All we know is what they say. All right, so that's what we know. Even let's see if this comment is about this particular story. Oh, I hope she will not have to do the whole 9 years. And that is the speculation that she won't, but it's the fact that she's facing it. So we don't know what probation looks like with that. If she you know, messes up on probation from the Russian, we don't know what any of that looks like. All we know is that at this point she's facing 9 years. Let's see. Talisha, I hate that for her. I'm proud of her for taking accountability, and I pray God's grace favors her. But dang, it's tough. It's super tough. Super tough. Over in Russia, I can't lie. I ain't scared of a lot of things, but I would be scared of that. Like right now, y'all, you know, Putin, y'all just went over here and just invaded Ukraine. No concerns about the women, the children, the babies, the elderly. I don't care nothing about it. We going over there. We're going to get what we're going to get. I would hate to be in Russia. I would really hate that. So, yeah, that's super tough. Stefan says, Stephen, Putin's laws are not fair laws, especially for Americans. So it's going to be nothing fair about it. This is what I'm getting. I don't think it's fair, but I'm not sure if they're laws. Right, we don't know. There's a comment saying it's old school, but know the law of the land. Don't come over here trying to do what you do over there. We do this here. We don't do that. And I know y'all go on cruises and you bring back the pure white Hennessy, and other things that we don't have here that we bring back. I can see bringing alcohol back. It's legal. In places where marijuana is legal, maybe I can see that in certain situations. If you have a card to say that you can, but if you don't have a card to say that you can, even if it's for personal consumption, I ain't going to Russia and trying to come back and bring something back or take something over there that I don't know. Why? Has anybody ever been in a situation like that? Like, ooh, I forgot. This was in my luggage from last time. I didn't remember what it was like. Has anybody ever experienced that? And if you have, were you in the States or were you somewhere like Russia, and what happened? That's a story that I definitely want to hear, because I'm just still trying to figure out, hey, how, why, how? Comment here from Ms. Linda. American people stay out of Russia. Stay out of Russia. Didn't they say that the oil was prescribed by her doctor? I understand the law, but man, if it was prescribed, now that's a whole nother story. Find me that. If somebody's searching right now, you can find some information or story from a good source, a reliable source. Shoot it over to me, and we'll dig through it if we can on the air. I don't recall hearing that though. If that's their law, it's reasonable. You can't go by U.S. laws. Remember, the kid got caned for spray painting cars. Yes, Stanley, I remember that. Like, I will never forget that story. Never. I don't know how old I was, but I was like, one thing I don't want, and that's to get with some bamboo or some sugar cane. Like, I'd never forget that. And however many lashings he got. Like, I remember, I think it was like 12 lashings. I will never forget that story. So great example there. Like, no, you can't come over here and do that. You got to follow the laws of the land. Stephen, we can't say that is under their laws. She is definitely being used politically, but it is deep. Russia is just making an example of her because of the relationship they have with us. I feel them Russians do not play. Man, this is bad. So, like, what when you think about this situation, like I asked the first question, has anybody ever been in such a situation where you packed your luggage, you forgot something, and y'all know TSA is not easy. After 9/11, that is something that you know to expect. In some TSAs or in some airports, you may be able to have something. They may not push you to pour the water out of your cup. You know, you can carry a cup. You can carry a bottle of water possibly if it's not open in some TSAs, but it's so risky. Like, why even try? Buy it when you get there, right? Find the plug when you get there. Find the Walmart when you get there. We do that anyway. Every city you go to, you got to stop at Walmart. I'm just so confused as to how these canisters and cannabis oil have gotten this young lady 9 years. I get that it's their laws as well, but 9 years, was it enough to distribute for real? Like, I need facts. I need facts. If you listen and you got facts, hit me up 994-8949. If you're watching and you in Russia, hit me up 205 in the front of that 994-8949. Dang, 9.5 years. It seems to be a bit much, but their laws are totally different from here. Customs don't care about any state law. Russians don't like us. So we know this. So why Brittany didn't know this then? What? Why she didn't know? I'm not going to Russia, period. What's up, Naturally Free? She says, I didn't get caught, but I had a J in my bag coming from Denver. Found it before walking through check-in. So next question comes, what do you do with it? Do you turn around and go, throw it away? Like, what you do with your stuff that you're not supposed to have? Like, what ends up happening with it? What do you do? What do you think? How do you feel? Did you think like, okay, they can take me to the back and I can never see my people, my luggage, where I'm going ever again? Like, this may be like, I'm trying to understand. Brittany is a political prisoner, period. Okay. All right. My son just asked me the same questions. Hey, Kyra. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Like, what is this? What happens? I'm gonna go to the phone lines and see who's calling in. Caller, you are in. Turn your radio down. Hello. Hey. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm. I was just about to ask you, what kind of lotion was it? I'm not throwing this away. Okay. Yeah, Yeah, okay. Right. Right. Okay. Can I ask what kind of lotion it was though? Okay. Not Clinique. Olivia Bell. Lancome. Olivia Bell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't throw that away. Okay. Well, thank you for thank you for sharing your story. Right. Thank you so much. Now that one, you give it as a gift, right? So I like that. I like her thought process. I'm not throwing my $50 lotion away for TSA. And then just kind of knowing now that there are so many guides on like travel regulations where you can go and you can you know, everything that's sold is pretty much marked already, so you know what you can take and what you can't take. If you pack it up and you want to bring it back, check the bag. All right, you got to travel to know that though. What up, travelers, wanderers? It doesn't seem fair. It was less than a gram. Also, the time doesn't fit the crime, but the fact that they charged her with drug smuggling with criminal intent probably caused such harsh punishment. Drug smuggling with criminal intent. So once again, when we are just out here as civilians listening to the news and watching news stories, we don't know what these folks say when they go in the back room and start answering the questions of the detectives. And you know, we don't know. We don't know what they already know, what pieces they put in place. I just know that I want her to be protected because she should be protected. Caller, you are in the think tank with Lady Wu. What's up? Hey. You are on the air. All right. Right. Mm-hmm. Don't bring a pinch. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. 4. Oh my goodness. Mm. Mm. Okay. Right. Right. So with that charge, I mean, what kind of charge was that? Was it a misdemeanor? Was it a felony? Okay. That is crazy. What? Right. I don't want to come back. Thank you so much for that call. Yeah. Let's go to the phone lines. The next line. Hey, caller, you're in. Hey, AJ. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm. All right. Mm-hmm. The commissary. I don't know, AJ. I can't think of it. If somebody's listening, can you tell us? Because I can't think of what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's about the size of it. Know the law of the land. I see that on social media. You guys are saying that you can't hear the callers. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure that out. Keep listening, though, okay? And if you can hear me, just send me some thumbs up or something. Let me know. I see that y'all had these issues every day around about this time. I don't know who it is that's listening. I don't know. But leave us alone and let us get the show going, okay? Let us keep it going. We appreciate that. All right. So Brittany Griner, 9.5 years is what she's facing. Know the law of the land in which you live. When you come back off of a trip, unpack your bag. I know people say, well, I've been back. I hadn't unpacked yet. I'm still living out of my suit. No, I start unpacking and washing and stuff the moment that I get back. And I do that for other, like all types of reasons, but that is one reason. I ain't trying to get caught up in no mess. I don't want nothing left in my suitcase. I don't want to forget some dessert or whatever. No, I'm getting it out and I'm making sure that I'm on point for my next trip. You can't get caught slipping like this to the point where it gets you 9 years and it's really, it's really something that could be avoided, something that could be tended to. You always saying that you couldn't hear the calls. As long as you can hear me, thank you, Rodney, and I'll try to get the calls up shortly. Let's see what this comment says. The department warned Americans about traveling to Russia. I really dislike that she's dealing with this, but she probably became a target once her passport information entered the Russian system. So I wonder, do we even take that seriously? The first question was I asked about us knowing our rights. That's the first thing I asked. And then I asked about, or I stated that when you are in a land, you need to know the law of that land, know the law of the land that you're in. But do we know our rights? Do we know the laws? Do we research before we go out and, enjoy, go on vacations, go on self-care trips, before we take cruises? Do we know where we're going? Do we know what language they speak? Do we know, do we care to know any of this? Are we just so ready to go that, hey, I was packing quick, I waited to the last minute, and now I'm in jail, now I'm sitting over in customs or whatever the case is, and I can't even defend myself. I don't even know who to call. Are we doing that before we take trips? Because now, people are taking trips. I don't know about you all, but traveling is a thing for a lot of people now. So are we doing it? Are we aware of where we're going, what we could face if we do get caught up in any kind of way? Are we aware? Do we know our rights? Do we know what we're dealing with? Let's see if you all can hear this caller now. Let's see. Caller, you're in the think tank. I am Lady Wu. What's up? I'm great. How are you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. I was trying to think of what it. That is it. That's it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So the caller, for those of you that are watching on social media, she just said that where you can buy alcohol from online is not online, with the military is the PX. That is exactly what it is. I couldn't think of that for anything. We're going to try to, can you hear? They'll get you to be able to hear the callers. I really want you to hear. So I'm going to keep trying while we talk. Caller, you're in. Let's try and hope. Let's hope that they can hear you. Okay. Duty free? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Exactly. Like, I don't want to just go somewhere and be nodding and smiling. I want to be able to ask questions or have a translator or something. Thank you, AJ. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I need to look that up. I never heard of it. Never heard of it. Thank you for that. You too. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna keep trying to let you be able to hear. All right, I'm sorry. Stanley, going on now. I know how to use these phones. But like I said, I noticed. I don't know who it is or what it is, but yeah, this happens often. I be seeing Chris on here looking at y'all trying to get it straight. So I'm trying. Brittany Griner is what we're talking about. Facing 9 years. She didn't know. She said she was packing in a hurry, and that has led. This was in February. Here we are in the beginning of August, and she is dealing with this situation still. So we're going to take another break, get ready for our second hour in the think tank. Y'all's Lady Wu filling in for Chris Coleman. He's on assignment. You'll hear from him tomorrow. And we're going to keep moving through here. I don't know where y'all want to go next. So you can comment on the stream and let me know where you want to go next. Do you want to go to monkeypox? Like, that's a conversation. We can all talk about that. Are we still talking about COVID? Are we talking about back to school? What do you want to discuss? I got more for you, but what do you want to discuss? I'm going to leave it up for you. You are listening to the Think Tank on V94.9 WATV. We'll be right back.
BS Birmingham, WATV Birmingham, a Courtney French Broadcasting Company. We are the all-new V94.9 WATV, and the V stands for variety. We're back on. Welcome to the Abby Award-winning Imperium Realty Think Tank with Chris Coleman, a unique perspective on everything Birmingham and the top issues around the world. The Think Tank continues now.
And we are back in the think tank. Welcome in, everyone. Hour two. To answer your question, if you're watching or listening, no, I'm not. If you're listening through social media and you may not hear the callers, sorry. But we try to get them for you when they call in, try to get them so that you can hear them. But if you can't hear them on social media, we are so sorry. However, we're going to keep the show going because the information is coming straight through your radio, V94.9. You can listen there all the time. You can also get the app and listen through the app, and you can hear all of it. All right, so we're going to keep moving along. We talked about a couple of things today, and your opinions are great. They are opinions, so you are entitled to them and how you feel about things. And there's another story that is breaking because people have mixed views on this situation. Our president is the oldest sitting president in United States history. And there's a big question of, is Papa Joe ready to go? Is he going to run again? He says he's running again. He says he's going to run for president again. I don't know what that looks like or what it's going to be like, but he says that he's running again and that he feels that he is the best candidate. That's because I can honestly say, who else would it be? Who else have we been watching rise in the Democratic Party, or anybody that we could look at as the next president of the United States of America? Is Papa Joe ready to go? Would you vote for him again? Would you let Trump get back in? What are your thoughts on that? Is he capable and able to continue to be the president of the United States of America after having COVID again? That's one thing. His age is another. Memory is another. Effectiveness, something different. Like, so many different factors. And I want us to talk about that if you all are ready to. If you're ready to. If you're not ready to, we can talk about some other things as well, because I see Talisha is saying, let's talk about school and these thieves. I'm not paying, and unnecessary supplies that I'm not buying. So not paying the fees, and then not buying the unnecessary supplies. I could totally get with that. fees for what in public school? And then registration, the process, is it easy enough for parents and guardians? Let's be clear, because there are parents of all ages, guardians of all ages who are getting our students prepared for school. And some of the processes may be a bit difficult. They may not be able to access the systems and the portals and how to operate them and how to maneuver within those portals. And you got to upload this document, drop this document off between these times. Well, these times I'm at work or I'm in a doctor's appointment, whatever the case may be. And so now registration numbers are low. And you know that in the system, we look for day one starters. If they're not registered, they going to be working on registration day one. So that is something to talk about. If you're listening and you want to talk about that, come on in. AV says Trump. I'm not sure what you mean by Trump. Are you saying that we'd rather have Trump over President Biden? I don't know. Let's see. He needs to resign to give Harris at least 2 years to prove that she can do the job. That's an interesting point of view. Why does he need to resign to prove that? Or is that why she got in, so that she can do the job? Help me understand that. Like, why are we wanting him to resign to give her the space to prove something? I just want to know. Linda says that God bless our President Biden. I just saw somebody said they would vote again. Oh, yeah. Then she says, yes, I will vote for President Biden again. Donna says, no, Joe. But what is our option for real? But yes, if Trump is the only other option. Really? Wow. Okay. No, a blind man can see that man is senile. Wow. Selena is going back to the school topic. I hear you. It's a fact that these teachers at the end of the year take those things home with them, talking about the extra supplies. Y'all, these are a couple of conversations going on. I think we're going to rock with the one about President Biden running for president again and continuing his presidency. What does that look like? So 2 top House Democrats declined to say that Biden should run in 2024. They ain't saying it. We're not going to say it. Representative Jerry Nadler and Carolyn Maloney, who lead powerful committees on Capitol Hill, shield away from supporting Biden when asked if he should seek a second term. Now, there was a conversation that I was in earlier where the person is independent and was very clear about that. I'm independent. And they said that in a situation like this, the party should stand united. Even if they don't say it publicly, they should unify and say that he can't run again, that they won't support him, but they should say that together so that these two strand away from saying anything was the best move. I was like, well, okay, maybe I could see that. Maybe. But what does that do for the people who have put people in office to be able to say what they feel and have you there to represent them? And you got people on the feed now saying that they will vote for Biden again. What does that say to us? Rod says, Biden resign, Republicans will have a fit. Patricia says he should not run again. Donna, no. I say yes for Joe if Trump is the other option. Never Trump again. Okay. Stanley, he's going to be 85 years old? I think so. And then somebody else says, but I'm leaving if Trump comes back. So where you going, Pat? If Trump comes back, where are you going? I want to know what you all think about our president being the president for a second term. Let's go to the phone lines. If you can't hear on social media, we're going to end the stream anyway and come to the phone lines in just a minute. Caller, you're in the Think Tank. What are your thoughts on the president running for a second term?
Are failing to realize that Trump is not much younger than Biden.
Right.
And then he also has some serious mental issues.
Okay.
Whether they want to put it out or not, that man is really off. Okay. And I just wouldn't go. I'm a never Trumper.
Just regardless.
I did hear at one time when Biden first got in office that he was only going to run for the first term and allow Vice President Harris to come in behind him. I did hear that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Perspective. We're looking at things. Let's go to this call and see what they say about it all. Caller, you're in the Think Tank. What's your comment?
Hey, Lady Wu.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. I
Good.
just called to give my 2 cents.
Come on, give.
I would never vote for a Republican. So Joe can run till the day he takes his last breath. He'll get my vote.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind answering this part, you'll never vote Republican, but are you satisfied with what's happening now and the response to these different issues like monkeypox, like the financial crisis? Are you okay with things as they are?
No, not completely.
Okay.
However, I am a little more satisfied than I would be with Trump being in office.
Okay.
He's just. Mm-mm.
All right, I feel it. I got you. Thank you so much. Caller, you are in. What's your comment? What's your thoughts?
Hey, how are you, Lady Wu?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you getting any feedback or anything before I start?
Yeah, just a little bit. Turn your radio down.
The radio is off.
All right, go ahead.
What about now?
Still some feedback, but go ahead. I think we can push through.
Okay. Well, this is my comment. And as far as voting, I'm not on the fence, but I was very emotional and upset with President Biden.
Okay.
Because when he stood up there and said, Black people, you put me in here, I'm going to do something for you guys. So my question to him is, what are you going to do for us? And not just us, for everybody else, because of the things that we have gone through.
Okay.
I think about how Trump picked up that pen and wrote executive orders. And I'm thinking, okay, Biden, you're the president. Pick up that pen sometime and stop fighting and try to get this partisan going, because the Republicans are not thinking about us, period. And you have people on the Democratic side like Manchin and I can't think of her name right now. They're Republicans undercover.
Maloney.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
pick up that pen and make some executive orders. Hey, you said that you were going to wipe out student loan. Wipe it out.
Right. I ain't lying. Wipe out. Don't just wipe out some that you don't qualify for. Give me the ones that really.
Exactly. So if I had the backing of the people, I would run.
Okay.
Because I would write so many executive orders, they'll probably be like, wait a minute now.
Right, ma'am. Are you now? Is this what you got in to do? And they're going to be like, yeah, that's what I came here for, to write these executive orders. Thank you so much. Thank you for your call. Caller, you are in the Tink Tank. What's your comment?
Hi, Lady Wu.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am calling to say that it's up to us. Biden is doing a job that we put him in there to do, but we have to also give him the tools that he needs, like enough people in Congress who are going to vote for the people. We've got to realize that America is a people's country, and we need to take it over again. I was at a lecture at the museum yesterday, and we talked about Reverend Shuttlesworth. And when Kennedy said, well, we're going to give you half of what the 7 points that you want. And Reverend Shuttlesworth said, no, we want everything.
We want what we asked for, right?
We need to be brave enough to step out and say exactly what we want. He don't need to give us nothing. We need to tell him what we need and what our fellow citizens in America need. And I'm going all the way back to the Native Americans. We ain't never treated them right. And we've been slaves. We ain't been treated right. But look at what's going on with the Hispanics now. We got so many issues going on here, but it's because we, the people, have not stepped up and said, this is an issue, solve it.
We, the people, have some power. Do you know you're right? It goes back to the first question that was asked. Do we know what power we have and how to employ that power so that our voices can be heard? Do we know what that looks like?
I don't think a lot of us know that.
Right.
And I think it's time that we have citizen school again on Saturday.
Okay.
And we should learn that. And that's how, after Reconstruction was going on, that's how Black people learn how to write and read. That's how A&M got built, with William Hooper Council. But Alabama has done all of this. And then we floundering. It doesn't make sense, but it's because we have not passed on the knowledge and the heart. We did the Taft-Hartley Act. That's why we got a minimum wage. Right here in Alabama, people went to Congress to testify for that. The miners over there in Winona Mines came out the mines, drove to Washington, testified, and came back and got back in that mine. You know, bombings was happening way back in the 30s and 40s. So we got a long history. We need to step out front. We need to talk about it. And we have leaders. Y'all need to get up and lead. Every one of y'all out there call yourself a leader. You got a public office. You've been elected. Lead. Speak up and tell the truth.
All right.
I got to go.
Look, that was good, though. She can go. I'm going to let her go on that. When you think about ideas like citizen school, and I hadn't heard of it referred to as that, but I was thinking about in high school. We talked about it when we opened the show about our children and young people learning, like where we learn these things and how much attention we paid to them when we were in school. It needs to be some type of continuing education for citizens, you know, like even if it's on a volunteer neighborhood basis, knowing the amendments, knowing the process, knowing what the legislative branch does, what does the judicial branch does, like really having those refresher courses, because we don't know. But then we own prideful egos way too big, so I really don't know. I'm not sure. We won't, well, I won't say we, but there are people who will not do that. They will profess to know it and then have to go Google. No, we had a citizenship school or citizen class on Saturdays, like she said, or at your leisure that you could go to be refreshed or to learn these things. First of all, we should go. We should find it necessary. And not just necessary as a reaction, but as something that you would have in your pocket. This is in your back pocket to always know. This is in the front of my mind because I know, I learned it, I remember it. And it wasn't just to get a grade. It was for me to know that this is what I would have to live and abide by and be protected by. I like that idea, Colin. They need to bring it back. Who's going to teach it? I remember Mr. Ziegler. Lil Ziegler taught me government and citizenship, and that's who I remember it from the most. I remember those civic lessons from him, and then just the interest that I had. So some of us are not interested in these things until it's a problem. We got to encourage our children to be interested and to want to know more when they're actually in the midst of learning it, when they can retain it. It might be a little hard now, but we can do it. We can do it. Let's go to the phone lines again. Let's see what we got. Calling it in the Tink Tank. What's your comment?
Yes, what I don't understand is when Trump ran against Hillary, Hillary had all this publicity about Trump getting help from Russia, and Russia was interfering in the election. Now, how can the next election, when Trump won, he didn't realize that the election official was looking out for Russia and everybody else? You know, the election official, the last election, that Russia was supposed to be in it. How can you stupid enough to think that the election official ain't gonna get it right this time? I just don't understand that.
I get it. There's so many things that we don't understand, and so many conspiracies and ideas that other people are planning that they confuse people. If there's someone who is tuned in that could answer this question and speak to that question, call in 994-8949, 994-8949. Be a part of the conversation. I'm going to take one more call right now. Call your in the Tink Tank. What's your comment?
Lady Wu, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
And it's up to the people. You don't just elect somebody, send them to office, and expect them to fulfill all your dreams and desires if you don't stay involved. That makes sense?
Right, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense.
And then to the lady that called and talked about executive orders, you can only write and do so many things within the law with an executive order.
Okay.
You need a Congress, House of Representatives, the senators to vote on issues that affect our lives. And grinds my gears is we wasting all this time talking about 2 years down the road, and these colored people in Alabama won't even come out and vote for local elections. So how in the hell can they complain about anything that's going on when they're not participating?
My goodness. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that.
how can you complain you're not participating? How is how they've been doing forever, how people have done that forever. You'll provide something, share resources, and it's a choice. You choose to participate or not. You choose to speak on it or not. You choose to be all think tank talk and not actually get out of the tank and go into the communities and do the work. You choose to be vital villagers who listen to the show, talk about it, don't get out in the streets and do the work. That's how it happens. So we understand very clearly how it happens. It was raining Tuesday election day, and I just couldn't pull myself together to get out. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it's about to be real rainy because you didn't exercise your right to vote. You didn't go to the meeting. You didn't put yourself in a position to be able to speak your opinion. I want to read this right here from LaShawn. She says, elected officials can only do so much. Laws are only passed if both the House and Senate agree. Executive orders are only powers that the executive branch has. Break it down, sis. Meaning, these are things already in the Constitution. Also, Congress can veto the order, and the Supreme Court can declare the order unconstitutional. That's a quick breakdown. I remember that. That's good. So that's a quick breakdown on how it happens. We can vote. Things can happen. This executive order can be presented. That's great. But there are branches in government under the Constitution, because that's what we live by, that's what we have to follow. That's what they're supposed to follow, but it's about interpretation. Get people who interpret things how you do and for your benefit. Okay. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're in the think tank. What's your comment?
Whoa.
What's up?
When some of our politicians win, and then they step back and they become a regular citizen,
yeah,
they get involved.
Absolutely. They get tired, right?
I don't know if tired or they got what they wanted to get out of the situation.
Ooh, okay.
And they just do.
Okay.
And you got people like myself, I get tired of it because they're not in it for the long run. They just in it to get what they can get.
Okay.
Bernard Kincaid did what he could. He fought hard when he was fighting. When the last time you seen him fight? Harrison. He fought hard when he fought. But Bear fought hard when he fought. But they walk away.
Well, let's speak to that. So we're talking about the president and his age and his experience, what he's done, how he has served all of his adult life in public leadership and government. What does that, like when you retire from any other job, you don't go back and visit every day. You don't, what's the difference with serving in that space? So are there no other leaders that can come in and fill those voids?
It is, but we still trying to find them.
Oh, okay.
Randall Wilson stepped up.
Okay. So the leaders haven't been found.
Say again?
I said the leaders haven't been found. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your comment.
But we got to continue to look, though.
Okay.
Can't stop.
Great point. Caller, you're in the think tank. What's your thoughts, feelings, comments, questions?
All right, listen, I'll let you talk. I'm going to hang up after I make my comment. It's really a request. It's been about 9 years since I lost my right to vote. Now, I've been driving people to the polls for the last, 9 years, just helping out, but I can't vote. Right, my objective. Anybody else that can help me? I'll listen. I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Okay, and I'm going to give you some instructions over there too. There is a brother by the name of John Paul Taylor who has dedicated himself and his work to rights restoration. So if let's see how you can do this. You can email me. I am Lady Wu at yahoo.com. I am Lady Wu, LadyWoo at yahoo.com. Remind me of this conversation, and I will link you with John Paul Taylor. That's the first person that comes to mind who was doing that work
on a national scale when it comes to voter rights restoration, and that work in that arena. So that's a person that I know that can serve you. So I thank you for calling and asking that question. So like when you talk about being a part of the solution, this man says for 9 years I haven't been able to vote, but I've gotten people to the polls. I did something to help with the solution. I appreciate and respect that. All right, I really do. Donna, thank you so much. Like I don't know what you want, but I got the volume going for you. You can hear it now. Let's look at some other comments. I wanted to get this one in from Mr. Greg Jones. The Congress and the House has just as much power as the president because they make laws. The president governs the United States. Ask Obama. They can't pass anything using executive order is a sign of disrespect. That's why Donald Trump was so good at it. I'm just saying. Disrespect. That's his middle name. All right. Thank you for that. Let's scroll on down. I see Kara in here, and I'm sure Kara has some information to share as well. Public servants can still serve the public after office. Yes, they can. And I do want to go back to that point as well, just for clarity's sake, and for those who are listening, you know, that may have some thoughts and feelings on that. For the same brother, you can go to Greater Birmingham Ministries when it comes to voter restoration. So thank you, Kara, for that information. So going back to the public servant still having or still being able to be involved after office. Yes, absolutely. If that's what I desire. If I've given it everything when I was in, when it was actually my time, when I was actually in the seat or in the space, and I fought and I got things passed or not or whatever happened, when my time is up, can I not take that personal move and step aside for the next leadership? What does that look like? Why is it such a, like, well, on one hand, pass the baton. Everybody's calling pass the baton. On the other hand, is saying, well, hey, you've done your job, but we still want you to serve. Help me understand that. Help me understand what that looks like. I'm not disagreeing, but I do want to know your opinions on what that's supposed to look like. Dr. Arrington, our first black mayor here in the city of Birmingham, is instructing. He's a college instructor. He's teaching. He's totally giving back to multiple generations. Still, to this day, we teach at Miles College together. He's still teaching. He's still giving to the next generation. That's service. What do we expect to see from leadership that's not in the seat anymore? What does that leadership look like? Does it look like consulting? Does it look like neighborhood block watch presidents, captains? I want to know what you all see for that, because one thing about it, when I say retired, I want you all to understand that I mean retired. All right. Omar says keyword servant. Keyword is servant. I get that. Expound. Expound. Advisory councils or something similar, Maria says. So yeah, being able to consult, being able to be an advisor. All right. I don't want to cut my gears short because I'm still stressed out or any short. I made it this far to retirement so I can roll out of this seat. Can I roll out of this seat and enjoy my life and not be stressed to the max like I was when I was in the seat? Why do you all expect so much from public officials? I want to hear you talk about it. I want to hear you talk about it. You have another half to do that. 994-8949 is the number. You can call in with your comments and thoughts on that. The generational passing of the baton, the divide, the exchange of information and ideas, modernizing, bringing things more current, all of that. That's what comes with passing the baton or sharing the baton. I don't believe that you always have to pass it. Sometimes you can hold it together. We can both contribute to these conversations and to the issues of the world. Experience, it matters. Exposure matters. All of that matters. So we can't just, we can't just do away with one or the other. How can we work together? If you're retired, I want you to be retired. But if you have questions, I want to be able to call you. Miss Anita, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I see some talk about the NFL Network. Stanley, you might run up here to the station and you handle that part of the conversation. And Miss Sheila, you want them to work, but you didn't vote for them. All right, we're going to end on that one. We'll be back to listen to Think Tank. One more half. We're going to pick all your calls and talk about one more story right here on B94.9 WAT.
Jefferson County Sheriff's Department.
Hey there, Magic City. It's time to pack this traffic party up to get on out of here. Another work day down. Everybody have a blessed evening. Be safe and I need it. And here's some good news first. Traffic report sponsored by Matthews. That old church vehicle crash is backed up south of 459 and Highway 280. So they finally giving us speed. Look out for an overturned wreck still racking up on 459 heading south of your gas and highway. And before I let you go, this bad crash still back you over the inner city on 2059 heading northbound near Investor Airport Highway. Traffic is heavy. Back towards you now about your junction interchange. But you have to get there right away to get to your destinations. Now stop by Mattress Firm for summer Black Friday deals. They will choose $600 on select mattresses from top brands with queens starting at $149.99. Plus get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase. Mattress Firm. I'm Monique Johnson at the all-new V94.9 WATV Traffic Center.
While you're on your way to work, Sheriff Mark Pepway says don't text and drive. Your safety is his top priority. This traffic reminder is being brought to you by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department and the all-new V94.9 WATV. For 9 WATV is teaming up with the Birmingham Barons as we host a salute to the Negro League.
Let's play ball.
Friday, August 5th at Regents Field, and we want you to join us. Listen to win tickets for an opportunity to witness history. A salute to the Negro League. Friday, August 5th at Regents Field. Brought to you by the Birmingham Barons and the all-new V94.9 WATV.
Living in separate apartments. I was in one side of town. She was in the other side of town. Paying rent at both apartments. So I gave him a call and said, hey, man, it's about that time.
As first-time home buyers, we had very little knowledge about the home loan process. So Terry was able to connect us with a lender that was able to present us with the best options for our budget.
T Mills Realty Group is your dream. Let us make it come true.
Call us today
At 205-253-8017.
Isis Jones here, and y'all, I have to say thank you for booking your self-care with Santa Fe Massage and Wellness. Y'all, it makes me so happy that you are experiencing top-tier spa treatment. But now, let me talk to those who haven't been. I'm about to make it super easy. Mary appreciates y'all so much. She's offering a 2-service special for just $99. You can pick any combination, including a mini facial, refresher massage, a scrub, sweet or salty, and/or a foot treatment for just $99. If you've never experienced a real treatment, this is perfect. Log on to SantaFeMassageAndWellness.com or give them a call at 205-408-7221. Again, that's 205-408-7221. And hey, don't forget to register to win that $100 gift card too. Just log on to myv949.com today.
Hey, this is Mary from Santa Fe Massage and Wellness. Come on down.
There may never be another singer quite like Luther Vandross. But no other voice comes as close as that of Ruben Studdard. Coming downtown Birmingham, September 16th and 17th. Ruben Studdard sings Luther for 2 nights only, presented at the beautiful DJ-D Theater at the Alabama School of Fine Arts. American Idol winner Ruben Studdard sings Luther. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours today before they're gone. That's djdtheater.com. www.djdtheater.com. Lux Ultra Lounge presents the Lux Summer Jam with Juvenile. Hey, Juvie is coming. I figure you gon' do that thing, boy. Please believe. If not, it's gonna make it hard for your towers to breathe. The Lux Summer Jam going down, baby. Saturday, August 20th. Lux Ultra Lounge, Bel Air, and Jack Daniels Honey presents the Lux Summer Jam with yours truly, Chris Coleman on the 1 and 2. Hosted by the homie Jack. For section, text 205-602-8755.
It's Macy's One Day Sale with great deals of the day, just in time for back to school. Like 30 to 50% off backpacks, handbags, and more. And 40 to 50% off jeans they'll love. And get 60% off luggage from Travel Pro, Samsonite, Delsey, and more at Macy's One Day Sale. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards even faster during Macy's Star Money Bonus Days, starting tomorrow.
Hot or cold?
I'm meteorologist Jerry Tracy with your V94.9 WATV forecast. A passing shower in a few spots this evening. Otherwise, typically warm and muggy tonight. Partly cloudy skies, about 73. For tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, seasonably hot and humid, a high 92, and there is a chance of a thunderstorm during the afternoon. For tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, seasonably hot and humid, a high 92, and there is a chance of a thunderstorm during the afternoon. With your V94.9 forecast, I'm Jerry Tracy with WBTM 13.
Now, let's continue the discussion.
Come on, let the man talk.
You're inside the Think Tank on the all-new V94.9 WATV.
It's V94.9 WATV. I am Lady Wu in the Think Tank, bringing vital to the daytime. So you all know I do this every Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on the V. We have Fly Dave, Chuck. Just go simply by Chuck. Candy Black is in the building. And we go in. We talk about different topics, the culture, just everything, anything that you can think of. We talk about it, special guests, all types of stuff. So if you hadn't checked out Vital, you want to do that. 15 years this year in April, we will have been on Birmingham radio and in Birmingham streets doing real Birmingham type of things. So be sure to check us out. And you can check me out every day right here on the V at noon. Lady Wu's Midday Fun Shui. But today we are in the Think Tank, and you all have been riding this thing out with me. 2 hours of all the talk that you can imagine about everything. And for that, I have some gifts. I said I was going to save them because one thing about class, you got to see who stays to pass, right? So we got some 4-pack tickets to the Barons baseball game. It's V night with the Barons. Salute to the Negro Leagues. That's tomorrow. So if you're looking for one more thing to do with your family before school starts back, this may be it for you. So you can hit me up. I'm going to select some listeners, some viewers to get these tickets. I got a couple of them too. So I'm taking a couple of callers. Not just one person is going to win. I got about 16 tickets. So that means about 4 families get to go. So hit me up with that. Thinking about going back to school. Miss Talisha gave her thoughts about that and what it looks like for parents as far as getting ready to return, and teachers already there, and students, how they're thinking, what they're feeling. We're in the midst of the pandemic still. COVID-19, that's still very much present. But then now we have monkeypox going around, and that's a thing. So it's always something that we're dealing with. But now we're thinking about back to school. How does all of this go together? We're headed back to school on Monday for Birmingham City School System. And I can speak on behalf of Miles College. We go back to campus on Monday. Are you ready? And what does that look like? Before we get into that conversation all the way, I do want to talk about this quickly, because when you talk about going back to school, Talisha, you and I have had this conversation before. And I also know of a local nonprofit that started under the same conditions, where a child was seen walking late at night and found by a pastor's wife who got with some other pastors' wives. And then they created Children's Village. They opened the doors up and they said, we cannot let our children be outside and be homeless or just abandoned or going through. We have to be there to support them. And we have to say something when we see something. So a 12-year-old girl walking in the road in our state, right here in Alabama, south of Dadeville, leads to the discovery of 2 bodies and an arrest. This young lady was being held. They said for about a week she had been tied to a bed and given alcohol to keep her in a state that she had no control. She bit her way out of the restraints. She bit her way out of the restraints and was found wandering in the road. Somebody saw her. They asked her, was she okay? Because apparently they saw that she wasn't, but they saw her and they responded. And because of them, she was rescued. So when you see something, say something. Will you say something when you see something that doesn't look right? When you hear parents being verbally abusive to children, can you take it? Hey, that's a baby. They may not be able to cuss you out or beat you up or call the police or whatever, but I can. So I'm going to step in. You should stop. When you see people mistreating their children, or when you see children neglected, do you say something or do you drive by? When it's raining and children are at the bus stop, do you drive by? Do you look? Or when you see little kids walking and not having anybody, what do you do? Are we put in a position to where we're afraid to respond, or are we going to continue to respond? Are we going to be those citizens that we've been talking about throughout the whole show? And we're going to actually be about what we say we're about. And are we going to assist? So that's what happened. And because she was rescue because somebody said something. Somebody's been arrested. Jose Paulino Pascual Reyes, 37, is facing possible murder charges. What else is he facing? Kidnapping charges. He also has some charges that are associated with the corpse that they found. So yeah, different charges, and I'm glad about it. They found two decomposing bodies in this man's home once they found the young lady walking up the street. Will you say something when you see something? And considering that school is about to start back, you're gonna see some things that look like they need to be tended to. Will you be the person to tend to them? Miss Donna, thank you so much. I enjoy being here with you guys today. Be sure you tune in on Sundays, and I need that same energy from you on Sunday nights, Miss Dunn. I need you chiming in and calling in too. We have some amazing topics and conversations. So be sure to come back on Sunday night too. But about this particular topic, school starts back. Our children are figuring out how to maneuver in these streets and you know how to go and be and do. As adults, even if they aren't ours, do we say something? Do we get involved? I'm coming to the phone lines right now. Caller, you're in the think tank. What's your comment?
Hey, it's Talisha.
Hey, Talisha.
Hey, so I was waiting on this subject when we're talking about school starting back and these kids.
Yes.
So we just want to encourage our parents, our vital community, to just take a look at what's going on and be a participant in what needs to be resolved.
Right.
When we look at fees and all kind of supplies that they're asking for, let's look at this. Why would I buy 15 packs of paper, 4 packs of pencils, this and that and the third, and then in the middle of the year, when my child come home, they bring it home crazy art when I bought Crayola.
Okay.
They bring it home crazy art when I bought Elmer. Then you're asking for fees that don't have anything to do with the kids, or you're not using the fees for what you say, what you're going to pay for. So in my child's school, they asked for something called a leadership fee.
Okay, Talisha, turn your radio down too. We hear you, and I want to hear exactly what you're saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep. No. Well, yeah, we still got some feedback, but I hear you.
Okay, let me just cut this off. Hold on. Okay, what about now?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So in my kids' school, it's something called a leadership fee, right? And they're supposed to do leadership activities on Tuesdays. Well, we don't do leadership activities. So what's the fee go for? Then you want a locker fee, $25. We don't got no books. What we need a locker for?
Okay.
You want me to buy a T-shirt or a polo shirt? One a year? It ain't gonna last all year. What am I buying that for? You want me to buy copy paper, dry erase markers? You don't even send anything home on copy paper. Everything come home on Class Dojo and online.
Okay.
What am I buying that for? Not to mention you got a $900 classroom supply fee to buy that stuff with. We got to look at these things. If we continue to allow them to rob us and pay for what they should, they're going to continue to do it. So this year, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm just not. And I get it if you want to, cool. But I feel like we got to all start standing together, sticking together, and doing what we know what to be right instead of being or doing what we're led to do.
So when you say, and I appreciate that, when you say that I'm not doing what we normally do. I remember the school supply list used to be extensive with, like you said, 15 folders and 4 packs of crayons, 10 multiples. But I guess just to the flip side of that, when you think about the village and the idea that, okay, well, maybe somebody can't, is that what it's for? Or do you think that it's just access just to have, like, that part of it? That's the part where I find conflict, because I want to be able to help the one that may be less fortunate, may not have gotten to a drive to get a book bag. So I send 2. I may send some more, right? But I may not send 15.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. At the end of the day, if it's some kids in the classroom that don't have what they need, then tell us, the parents, I need these additional supplies. Then we can look at it and see what we can do. But just to be asking, and just to be associating these fees, just to be associating them in a time that we live in now, That's unacceptable.
Okay. Caller, you are in the think tank. Ooh, turn your radio all the way down.
I did. I turned it off. Boo.
What up?
This Theo.
Hey, Theo.
Hey, she go to her child go to a private school. Cause Birmingham City ain't got no $900 fee. I'm sorry. And then as far as everything that you're asking for, it's a lot of people that don't have it.
Okay.
So we need extra. And then plus, okay, yeah, we might get some money to buy some paper or something, but it's not enough. Teachers come out their pocket. So you're not gonna do it. And so when that child short, that teacher gotta go home and spend her money that she only get paid once a month to supply for her class. Last year I did a pizza party for a whole band out of my pocket. See, my wife and my children mouth. I'm saying, man, we do more. Don't beat us down.
And so to hear,
yeah, she made me mad. She made me mad. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you sharing that, because one thing about it is that we don't, if you're not in, once again, if you're not in the system, you don't know. If I only send my child, but I'm not really, back in the day, parents could come sit in the classroom and just sit around and see. We didn't see that. We don't see that now, so we have to hear it. So that's why these forums are awesome, because it does get a chance to shine the light on what actually goes on. So we did speak about like the usage of paper and all these different things like that. Tell us about it. Break it down. Like, why is that necessary?
I mean, since the pandemic, they do a lot of class dojo and send a lot of things home.
Okay.
But we do need paper, because a lot of stuff in class isn't on paper. I'm a real band director, so my paper, I print music.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have a way to send home music on the device.
Okay.
So I need my paper. But I mean, so as a band director, I need reeds. I need mouthpieces. I need valve oil. So I'm supposed to keep buying that every time it runs out. No, your child want to be in the band. Provide that for your child, and you might want to get a little extra for the person, mom and dad, who can't really afford it. Okay. But I don't say I'm a band feelist like that, because I'm elementary. But I mean, at the high school I work at, we asking for money. You need uniforms, not uniforms, but jogging suits, warm ups, band T-shirts, and we're trying to keep it so they can have the same T-shirt every year. So I had to keep spending money, but I understand that it's hard times. Trust me, I understand.
All right,
my car broke down this morning. It's hard times.
I appreciate you for sharing that and for working with our children. So it's important to hear from those who are in the system that can kind of bring some clarity to a lot of this. Caller, you're in the think tank. What's your comment?
Hey, Rue, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I got two things. I'm hearing the echo in the back.
You got your radio turned down?
It's off.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I seen the story about the 12-year-old young lady again today, and come to find out the two bodies was her mother and her brother. And he had smothered the mother, and he had beat the brother to death.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's what they said on the news today.
Okay.
Okay, and then the thing about school supplies, when my kids were in school, we had to pay a $30 donation fee to the classroom. But I paid it because I understood that the teachers had to come out of their pocket to buy additional things for the classroom, or maybe a child that may not have had everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So once the teacher broke it down to me about, yes, it's a donation, but this is what I use it for. And then I saw that they were using it actually in the classroom. I didn't mind giving the $30.
Okay. It's about the explanation. So somebody made you aware of what was going on, and you were able to make the decision to support or not.
Right. And they also had an awesome PTA where they had raised money, and you saw the things that the PTA was doing. They had got a new playground. They had done a lot of things around the school.
Okay. And you want to see what you're putting your money into, especially when times are hard. I wanted to make a post today, but I'm fasting Facebook only live today for this. And I said I'll go live on Sundays. But when your situation changes or shifts, or you're a parent by yourself, you're a single parent doing it by yourself, figuring things out, or your support is different, this is just a different season, it is difficult to have to, first day of school, you got to go right. you set the tone for the rest of the year, not just academically, but socially. So you got to make sure your hair is done, clothes are nice, new, shoes are nice and new. You got the right it takes a lot to prepare for the school year. So understanding that, yeah, there are book bag drives and there are supply giveaways, there are different resources out there for families to take advantage of. They're not giving enough for one student to be responsible for 6 reams of paper. So I get to Alicia's point and other parents' point as well, but I also understand it from the perspective of the educators who are actually in the classroom every day. So I get that as well. Got one more caller we're gonna take. Caller, you are in the think tank. Make it good.
Hey,
Hey.
I was calling in about the lady that was complaining about everything that they ask in the classroom.
Okay.
These teachers, I have friends that are teachers, and they spend the money out of their own pockets, take food out of their own children's mouths to feed other people's kids, to pay for this thing with lunch. Well, Birmingham City don't really pay for lunch, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, some teachers are spend money to pay for these kids to have food to eat and supplies. If you go to the store, they want you to buy 10, buy 15.
Okay.
That'll be a little bit extra for the child who does not have it.
All right. I appreciate that, Candace. We're gonna keep the calls going so everybody can get in. Caller, you're in. What you got?
Yes, how you doing? I'm calling about the young man that's calling about the voting.
Uh-huh.
Tell him that a young lady named Dana Ellis. Dana Ellis. The number is 205 531
Mm-hmm.
5668.
Say it one more time for me. 531.
205 531 5668.
Okay. And Dana Ellis.
Yes. And he reached out to her. She'll tell him everything he needs.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to you too. Caller, what you got for us?
Yes, I just called a minute ago,
Mm-hmm.
but also I forgot to tell a lot of parents, the school that my kids went to, that you don't have to pay all of it at registration. If you tell them, they will tell you you can make payments
Okay.
instead of having to pay everything up front.
You know what? I don't think it's about that though. I don't think it's about when the payment is due. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about the idea that I'm not just taking care of my child. I'm getting these things, but I don't see the resources being used. And then in some situations, I don't see them being needed, is what she was saying. I don't think it's about the money, honestly.
Right, I get that, but I just wanted to say that to the ones that want to, but they just feel like that it's a lot up front.
I got you. All right. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
thank
They say we
you.
got payment plans. Y'all got Klarna, Affirm, all types of stuff now. So use those things. Hey, this comment right here is good. It was said, it was said that she buys Crayola and her child brings home a generic brand. I can understand you wanting your child to have the best, but the teacher probably bought 4 of the generic versus the name brand. Not quoting statement verbatim. I am a firm believer that if I buy something specifically for my child, I expect for her to have what I bought for her. Now that is true. That is that's what I believe, right? This is yours because I bought your favorite color of this. I did this. I personalized yours. The extra stuff, I picked up some things. And normally I'm gonna just get what I got for my child because I believe in quality. I want her classmates to have what I'm getting for, like that's me. That doesn't mean that that's every parent or every giver to the school system. But if I get something for mine, I got it for her, and that's who I want to have it. If I get it for everybody, cool. But for the one that I'm buying for, I want her to have what I buy for her. That's just me, and that's about the one opinion I'm gonna share today. That's about all I'm gonna give y'all. I want mine to have what I get for her. All right. One more comment, Lauren. I understand there may be kids that may not have, but I'd be damned if a kid asked my child for a pencil or to share her crayons, but they got on Jordans and a fresh haircut. Lauren, that is the statement of the afternoon, my dear. That is absolutely it, right? Like if you can do all the other things and all of these other things are priority. Like I just said, the priority is for my child to have the best of what I want her to have. It may not be the best to you, but it's the best to me. And I want her to have it. That's that. But if you out here getting the most expensive of everything and affording other opportunities that are not academically based, I will not take that responsibility. So, Lauren, that's the comment. Look, that right there is it. That is it, and that is all. Hopefully, you all have enjoyed the Think Tank today. I've enjoyed you. I've enjoyed the conversation. We've had some deep conversation and got some great points. It's all about learning. We've gotten resources shared today. We have gotten connected to people about voter restoration. We have learned about amendments. We have found out what it's called on the military base when you on a ship. I mean, we have learned a lot. I'm excited about that. I love to learn, and I hope you do too. If you want more of this type of conversation, tune in on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. to the Abby Award-winning Vital Show. We'll be on this Sunday, so be sure to check us out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. The V Mix at 6 is on the way, so you can turn up. Be careful in this weather too. I'll talk to y'all in the morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon at noon, right here on B94.9 WATV.